Hi Hinsters, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome too. I have spent pretty much all of Virgo season kind of all a slumber, but I'm back now with this video, and we are of course talking about Libra and Libra season. So welcome back, hope you're well. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what I do, and subscribe if you haven't already. I also have, by the way, 9 spaces left, free scholarship spaces on my online Introduction to Spiritual Astrology course. We had the first class last week, and I'll be doing these classes every Saturday. So check out the description box below if you're interested. And once if all the free spaces get taken, it will be like £69 for 1 year. Sorry, for 6 months. This is quite good value for money, I think. If you are interested in taking that course, check out the description box below. Already, Libra season, the season of Venus. Libra also being the cardinal masculine Venus-ruled air sign. Libra, I think, is one of the most underestimated cardinal signs. I think this is going to be also a very special Libra season. We've got Venus in Leo right now, making a sextile to the Sun in Libra, and Venus rules sextiles. So there's like a lot of potential here for stuff to get spicy and bubble up and over and actually be, I think, a lot of fun for a lot of people. Or at least Leo is participating much more in certain thematic and experiential activations in this Libra season. Of course, I'm not going to say that it's going to be good or great for everyone. I'm sure there'll be people who have difficult Libra seasons as well. We need to look at our charts and find out what's going on. But I've also been touching on this already on my channel for a bit, but Libra season is one of the 4 kind of quote-unquote karmic seasons of the astrological year, and this also marks the beginning of the end, of the light. This is the very beginning of the end of the year. And right now, as we pull away from the Virgo energy, albeit with Mercury still exalted in Virgo and direct in Virgo now, but as we transition into the season of Libra, we're sort of throwing out the moisturizer bottle here. It's like, you've got something, some container or bottle or something, and you're trying to like squeeze every last bit of like toothpaste or nail polish out of this container. But Libra kind of comes along and is like, come on, we're done, let's go. Throws it out. You're buying a new one, you're buying 2, 3, you're stocking up on this new kind of item or this new practicality. And we get here also kind of fine and refined karma, or patterns of give and take, or refining a lot of what we have learned, refining a lot lessons, classes as well. And also, like I said before, retribution is a big thing, and also like finite decisions, because Libra season is like a sword kind of coming down, or like the sway of a judge's hand, or it's like a horn being blown. Libra season is justice, and it is watching the cards fall as they so should. It is also, for a lot of people in this air season sense, it is coming to terms mentally with certain things that might be difficult, but there is like a kind of peace as well that is to be had once these terms have come to. And we've got here the beginning, yes, of a 6-month cycle of refining our collective spring resolutions as well. So it's not really the time for like too much newness, and it's like collectively, and it's more like looking at what we have, and like being sensible and respectful toward the people and the things that we have. But it's not going to be easy because this is a masculine season that we start this 6 month period on. And Libra has a lot of Venusian, obviously, expressions, and so it can be very easy for us to do things like overspending or overindulging or showing off in this season, this time. But it really is supposed to be more about the beginning of kind of looking at what's already in your hands or your basket, or what's already on your plate. Like, how many jobs do you have on your plate? How many relationships do you already have under your belt? Like, how many classes have you already signed up for? And knowing to kind of stop and kind of, like a chicken or a bird, kind of start to put that under the protection of your wings for the next like 6 months. For that, like kind of in preparation for the next 6 month period. Also, we're kind of more sensible now in Libra season, and respectful, I hope, toward the people and the things that we have, and also to ourselves. And I'd look also to where we have Libra itself in our birth charts, and like where the Sun and Mars are right now. Are they touching any planets in particular for you natally? Because that's definitely gonna be pronounced. There's also a lot of masculine energy in this masculine cardinal sign. And with Mars here especially, a lot of us will be feeling forced to take some actions relating to something in our Libra house. You know, in my case, this is my fourth house, the house of home, for example, and I've been getting attacked by mosquitoes like crazy. I've been killing a lot of them. You know, Mars rules stings and stinging insects and all that kind of cuts and burns and bites. And so, yeah, I've been like reinforcing my home's defenses. um, anyway, Libra is also the book. It is Libras often that are the very culturally refined ones in some way, but Libra season itself is kind of also like closing a book, or like being content with what's being learned, and like trying now to refine or reconsolidate that. And in many ways, Libra season is kind of like preparing. It's kind of like a red carpet walk. So it's very social, obviously. It's very outgoing and expressive, Libra season. But it's kind of like you're walking along this red carpet, and you're going to eventually reach this point of the cameras or the crowds being gone, and you're going to be on your own in the limousine, if you like, or in the dressing room, if you like. And there's going to be this moment of undressing and taking off and reflecting and literally being in front of the mirror. And I've described previously on my channel this kind of Libra into Scorpio season transition of this time of the year being where we sort of hold the candlelight to our own face and kind of have to be with ourselves. And sometimes it's kind of like, you know, motherfucking scary. But it's supposed to be in some ways, in many ways, for us. Anyway, I kind of also wanted to talk about Saturn today, because Saturn is exalted in the sign of Libra. This is the object, and this is the objective as well, kind of zooming out a lot. So these things increase in significance now. And we've got Saturn right now still in Pisces. So of course, musicality is just like mega amplified now, and kind of swimming in and out of each other's waters spiritually. And we get also a lot of Libra heavy artists kind of booming and blossoming. And I've been saying this before, but during this Saturn transit, artists like Sims, SZA, Doja Cat, Ariana Grande, still, like, they are quite defining or appropriate sort of vibes for the next like 2 to 3 years. And I get also for Libra season the very classical themes of like grace and like sensible dismissal. You know, Librans, they just know how to sensibly distance themselves from things or people no longer working for them. And there's this mature, this adult need to detach from and to kind of, the word I have is like clinicize things. There's less anxiety about making these moves now, and there's just more movement. This is cardinal energy, and there's more actual definitive decisions and conclusions, and we can kind of get here a clear mind and utilize decisive communications. But this is Venusian communications, so there's a lot of softening of the blow, kind of, it's the SHIT sandwich kind of vibes, but we're still like more confident or affirmed in what we're doing and saying. So there's less of that fear. We have again a lot of the Leo really kicking in again at this time, and it can get, for some people, maybe unfortunately, it can get a bit black and white. You know, it can get a bit like this sextile again coming from Leo, as well as having an exalted Mercury. Things can get kind of Cruella de Vil, and being things can kind of, people can feel like they can afford to say or do harsh things, especially with all this masculine energy. And that's up to us, up to you to do what you must do. And of course, Libra season brings the typical themes of vanity and popularity, and again, kind of red carpet and red carpet rituals and socialite kind of dynamics. And this is a beautiful time to get sexual or flirtatious. It's a gorgeous time for unions and for all kinds of party and like commiseration and congratulation. And it's a gorgeous time for things like selfies and appreciation and celebration of the self, and like a gorging on physique, maybe your own physique or other people's physique or the body, or like photography as well. And like appreciation of all these things. And there's just this kind of gorging on the aesthetic in some sense for many people. And we're in this overarching rabbit year too. And the vibe that I have here is kind of like, it's kind of like if you have books at home that you haven't read yet, it's like read them, like finish them, finish what you started in some spiritual sense. And a lot of people, they have been learning a lot over the past like 6 months. And here it's like keeping clear-headed and remembering like the rules and the routines and the disciplines that were needed to achieve or experience what we did, or to get to where we got to, and to maintain it. That's important as well. Because yes, Libra season is very much a season of, there's a lot of rejoice, especially with Leo kicking in again. Lots of rejoice and like puffed upness. There's a lot of materiality as well, but there has to be that Venusian, that other Venusian side, which is about value and really appreciating the deeper values of things, if you want to. But you know, some people will get kind of a bit wild and weird, I think, in this Libra season, because it is obviously like a socialite's dream type of season. And also people often at this point of the year start behaving like they're higher or better than they actually are. People can get very judgmental, even if it's just inside. They can get very like arrogantly judgmental, regal, like domineering, and just kind of, yeah, behaving like they're higher or better than they actually are. And there can be a lot of kind of fake it till you make it stuff as well. And a lot of people overly accommodating losers and like loser vibes, when really they should be cracking on with their own shiz. Like, I don't mean to sound harsh, but Libra season sometimes does bring this out in us, this kind of let's just get it together type of business, and let's actually write something on the wall that's going to stay there and let others know. So a lot of Libra season is kind of like being careful about what you do say or put out there, because there's much more of this heavy, mature energy of that's going to last, or that's going to be picked up again or referred to. So like you better kind of mean it. And the sun, which is also in its quote unquote fall in Libra, the sun often at this time illuminates the unsightly. It kind of makes things glaringly obvious. It makes things and people more transparent. People's kind of, again, vanity or materialism can be exposed really quick now. We have Mars, yeah, really quick, Big Bang. We have Mars here really shaking things up. And it could have been for a lot of people literally on day one of Libra season, which was like what, almost a week ago or less. It could have been day one of Libra season. Something was like quite obvious to you. And Mars also makes things very fair and square, and again quickly. And Libra is kind of like Reiki. Libra is kind of like paper arts, paper making, like calligraphy and like martial arts, and all that is sort of wax on, wax off. Libra is also posture and demonstration, especially with Leo again kicking in. We're going to talk a lot about Leo consistently this year, I think. And Mars being here then as well simply pronounces a lot of this Libran stuff, but makes it, because Mars also falls in Libra. Because of that, there's this sense of things being more spicy or spiky this Libra season. And I get here stuff like, this is how I want to describe it: surface level priorities and hollow pride. You know, those people or those times when we gossip about someone else because that's someone else. Or even if we're not gossiping, we're just thinking and feeling it. We don't verbalize, but it's still there. We gossip about someone else or think about someone else negatively or in a judgmental way because they look or they act a certain way, while we have attained this aesthetic or quality that we think someone else is lacking. But the really interesting kind of Venusian trick here, this is the goddess of value right now. It's like it's a season of value right now. So we really need to stop that kind of talk or thinking or reflecting, because we may well have attained like some given quality, but the way we judge or scathe someone or something or some situation that does not possess that quality, well, that in itself is kind of ugly and kind of like hideous, and it exhibits something like rotten inside, because there's also this pretense as well. And this is like the person who would kind of be nothing. Also, Libra just brings out hypocrisy, like blatant hypocrisies. And this is like the person who would be nothing actually without their kind of peroxide surface qualities, or without their kind of haughty high and mighty kind of beliefs or comments. And you know, Libran mysticism is kind of like a mirror or a silver bowl or vase. It often kind of tricks us because it's not really anything, Libra. It's the only sign in the sort of 12 zodiacal family that's an object in and of itself, and it isn't really anything, but it's also a divine instrument. And it often kind of tricks us in Libra season then into this kind of pride for the shine. But if we, or like a kind of complacency as well, but if we unravel the layers, there's actually nothing of substance there sometimes. It's like the most vapid magazine that you could just pick up, where the pages are like too shiny or glossy that you can't even like see what's going on. Um, we and it's something that you will forget about like 5-10 seconds after you close. That can be the kind of less desirable sides of Libra season, and we can have this tendency to exhibit these qualities, these vapid qualities. And we also will have in this Libra season the themes of rudeness cropping up. This is also like noticing what people do and don't do in situations and scenarios and social settings. Libra is also the divine convener. By the way, I've got a video on Libra rising, which I like to call the divine instrument, Libra risings or Libra ascendants. So you can check that out if you like. But yeah, Libra season will also bring this kind of heightened experience of gift giving or receiving, lending of items, and like kind of for some people like more seriousness attached to things that are obtained or inherited. And Librans are kind of also divinely integral and instrumental. You know, with a Libra, there's often items or a literal single item that you get from them, which is also a kind of physical spirit print of something that they taught or were trying to teach you in the past. And finally, Libra season is a very typical season for adopting this kind of, I see your point, although this kind of diplomacy and more balanced way of conversating or negotiating, and giving a lot more grace and kind of letting people off more. Because frankly, we're supposed to now kind of be in our own bag and like minding our business for the next 6 months. And Libra risings have Sagittarius in the 3rd house. They're almost always kind of giving people the benefit of the doubt. There's kind of usually more positivity and grace when it comes to relating to the people and the things around them. And I think that, yeah, Libra season also will be kind of like that. And it, you know, it's not going to be without its hiccups and we will have to sometimes sit through boring ceremonies. But generally, I'm excited for this Libra season, and I feel that it will be the month when a lot of people will really feel like they're in their jam, and they will finally feel that life is a bit more resonant and enjoyable, or at least that some sense of stable peace is being achieved. There's some solid footing, or there's some kind of like dropping of something or realization of something that is quite significant, and it kind of delivers relief and release. So yeah, let me know in the comments below where you have Libra in your birth chart, and let's talk about it. Have a great Libra season, and I'll probably make a couple more videos here on YouTube or some TikToks as well, talking more about Libra. So stay tuned. I love yous, and have a lush weekend. Bye bye.